Where did they go? My daughter asked, peering up at me. From a child's perspective, such a simple and innocent question. I had just come out of my bedroom for the first time since returning home from the hospital. I had holed myself up in my room full of pain and self-pity. This was the first time since having surgery that I was standing in front of my two daughters. One was almost 5 years old, and the other just 18 months old. And I had just had a double mastectomy. Mommy, where did they go? My two treasures were playing and dancing. They put their hands out for me to join them. I sat on the chair. My husband stepped in, took their hands, and danced instead. I was immediately brought back to the day the doctor told me I was having a girl. I remember walking home hand in hand with my husband through a small park near our New York apartment, slightly giddy, slightly nervous, but filled with excitement. I had known for months that we were having a girl. The ultrasound was the scientific proof he needed to begin to make girl names. I, however, did not need proof. Days before the doctor had even confirmed I was pregnant, my grandmother called me to tell me about her dream from the night before. In her dream, I was holding a baby girl. Since she was 100 years old, I never questioned it. I was having a girl. I was close to my grandmother. Once a month, I would rent a car, drive 2 hours to her house. We'd lunch, grocery shop, have tea with sliced apples, an afternoon nap and dinner, all before it was time to return the car. We'd laugh, argue, tell stories, and just be together. Eventually, my soon-to-be husband joined me on those monthly treks. Nothing says he's the one more than driving on the Long Island Expressway early on a Saturday morning to hang out with a lady who could tell you she voted for FDR and Clinton twice. She always giggled around my husband. He towered over her 5-foot frame. She would hold his arm, asking me to open the door for them. My grandmother was frank, telling you exactly what was on her mind. She always told you the truth, even when it hurt. She was not what I would call the milk and cookies grandma, but she was mine. I learned a lot from her, and I loved her. It was from my grandmother I took my motherhood cues. From the moment I found out I was pregnant, I was going to always tell my daughters the truth no matter what the question. I was going to raise honest, brave, and proud women. I was going to have more blue than pink clothes for them. And I was not going to have any princess toys in my house. I admit it, now sitting in my living room chair with the dancer swirling around me, I was negotiating with myself. Do I really have to tell them the truth this time? She's only 5. Do I really have to tell her what I went through? And will it matter? After all, she had that princess birthday party, and her favorite outfit was the pink tutu. How could it hurt if I didn't tell her the truth? But then I remembered my grandmother, and I took my cue. And I told her the truth. My daughter listened, was very quiet, and then went off and played with her little sister. The next day, my husband was running around getting the girls ready for the block party in our neighborhood. In my pity party moment, I decided to stay home. I could not look anyone in the eye, much less sit outside in the North Carolina heat hiding in my sweatshirt. As they were headed out the door, my husband encouraged me, "Come out with us, just for a little bit. Get some fresh air. It'll make you feel better." Stubbornly, very much like a 5-year-old, I shook my head no. But then my daughter walked up to me. She looked at me with those strong eyes, grabbed my hand firmly, and said, "Mama, it's time to go outside." And like that, a little brave, honest, and proud woman took my hand while her dad held the door open for us and led me out of despair and back into motherhood.